You are now listening to another episode of the Chanel and Alan Chit Chat Podcast with your hosts, Chanel Marshall and Alan Byrne.
Hey there.
Hello, Chanel.
Why are you trying to look intellectual today? What happened?
Have you ever seen me with my glasses on?
No. That's why I said what's happening.
That's just like
Quarantine's like fucked up your eyesight. Like, what the hell?
Excuse me. Now, listen, Chanel. Let me just tell you a thing or two about being an intellectual. Or the person, they do the wipe with the. Let me just clean my glasses, whilst I look condescendingly at you. The reason I'm wearing my glasses is because I do normally wear contact lenses, but my eyeball had I don't know what you want to call it, like a histamine allergic reaction. So I think it's because I must have got something in my contact lens in my eyeball. So I have decided to opt for glasses until that subsides, or whatever you want to say.
Okay. I don't know why would you waste contact lenses if you're going to be in the house anyway?
It's a good question. One reason is because I'm going to be Skyping with you or whatever, Zooming with you. Sorry, wrong brand. Oh no. Pepsi, Coke. No, we alienated both sponsors. What a nightmare. Oh no. But one reason as well is because I normally do exercise, so I don't like them, and like contacts are better, so they just don't fall off my face, and I do that in the morning, so then I tend to just leave them on.
So you can't see at all then?
Who said that? Is
it like really, really blurry, like you can't, like your hand will turn into like a smudge if you don't have glasses on?
Yeah, hang on, I'll do it right now. Let's have a look. What is this smudge I see before me? It's not too bad, but like basically like once I get past like what's that, like a foot from my face, half a meter from my face, things start getting a bit out of focus. But like if like as has happened before, my contact lenses fall out, I'm not just gonna be like walking around London like if you find me months later, help with one shoe and a fucking bin bag full of rags or something. Like I can get around, but blind. I'm minus 3.75 in both eyeballs. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, about to say what?
I don't know. But somewhere out there in the feed, in the web, a bunch of opticians, who I presume are quite a big demographic for us, were just like, oh my God, minus 3.75. I always thought he was probably that prescription. He's got that look about him,
Oh, I have to tell you this. Oh, it's freaking hilarious. Right, so, like I've been missing Starbucks and, because my life is sad. And
yes. Yeah.
I'm obviously having to make my coffees or whatever.
The hardship, the struggle.
Like these first world problems. And then so I was like, okay, well, I normally heat the milk because I don't like it cold. You're not supposed to have like real cold drinks in this issue thing we're going on with.
I didn't know that. Cool. Fucking first time hearing.
Yeah, so then I was like, okay, so I normally heat the milk. Well, it's not milk, my oat milk. And then I will I do the coffee, then I kind of leave it to sit for a bit. So then it's kind of warm. It's not cold. I don't like the whole cold thing.
I got you.
Anyway, right. So I was like, so it can actually like be warm instantly and I don't have to wait, right? Let me boil the kettle, do the coffee, mix it up, leave it in the jug, let it cool down, then put it in the fridge.
Okay.
All right. So
I just want to stress that you interrupted my story for being boring and you've now spent 2 minutes talking about coffee preparation.
We're getting there, right?
This is the punchline coming.
I was like, it's coming. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm making my drinks, great. And I put the clean one, I put the jug in the fridge. The other day I made dinner and we had leftovers and whatever. So I said to my mum, I've left you yours in the fridge. So she's like, oh, okay, fine. She decided she was going to take the jug out of the fridge because she thought that it was, Bisto.
Outstanding.
Okay. So she drowned her food in the coffee.
That's great.
And I'm like, hold on. How the hell did you not smell it? How did you not smell? How did you not smell it? So then, she's drowned it in it. Then she's put it in the microwave. Cooked up the coffee.
Oh yeah, to get it bubbling up. Yeah, very good.
Right, and then she's like, oh. And then she comes into me after she's taken it out. She's like, there was gravy in the fridge, right? And I was like, no. She's like, in the jug, the brown stuff in the jug. I was like, it's coffee, Mum.
So great.
She was like, oh, fuck. Put it all on my food. I'm going to fucking eat it. I don't give a shit.
Your mum's a legend.
Ate. And it was freaking macaroni pie.
Oh, with coffee.
Right. And I was thinking to myself,
oh, Jesus Christ.
Like, why didn't you just, like, make some instant noodles or make something completely different? She was just like, I wasn't making anything else. So I ate it.
Hey.
And I was just like,
I respect your mother's follow through. She's like, hey, I've ruined this dinner now, but I'll be damned if I'm going to take the effort required to put some noodles in a bowl.
And I'm just thinking cheese and coffee.
Oh, so rank, man. That's really that's a nasty food combination.
And then if she'd put meat on there, it would have been even worse. And then I had mackerel with mine. And I was thinking, if she had mackerel, coffee, cheese.
Oh, God, you make me sick. Mackerel, coffee, and cheese. That sounds like something like, sometimes David swallowed a bunch of poison. How can we make him throw up? Oh, well, the secret formula is mackerel, fucking coffee, and cheese. You make him get a mouthful of that. He's guaranteed to puke it up.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, because then she came into me and she goes, oh, I'm going to eat any more. I thought, oh, she's joking. She has to be, because no one in their right mind would do that.
That's so funny, because, like, I've only met your mother a couple of times, and as soon as you said that, I was like, she's going to fucking eat it. There's no way she's not eating it. I know that woman. I've seen that look on her face. That's a woman who's like, hey, in for a penny, in for a pound. She's
just born with sheer determination. Like, I'm just like, there's things you should be, like determined about, but that's not one of them. That really is not one of them. Like,
but no, hang on, you didn't
know that. Oh,
where was it? You said there. You see, of course, again, as always, this is the Chanel side of the story. This thing you had the coffee in, was it like a fucking gravy boat with a big ornate handle?
No.
Did it say Bisto on the side?
No, it was a glass jug with the measurements on the side, and it doesn't have a lid, so I covered it with cling film and I put it in the fridge.
Yeah,
I thought the gravy was a little bit like piss watery. It was a bit like really watery, but I just thought, oh, do you know what? It's probably just really nice, so it doesn't matter.
That's great, man. I love as well. That's one of my favorite questions is the question you ask when you already fucking know. Like when she came in and says, there was gravy in the fridge, but she already knows she ate coffee. Like it's too late, but you still ask the question in the sliver of hope. It's like the sliver of hope. Maybe this person is going to tell me what I know not to be true. I love that question.
Oh my God. She was like, it tasted funny. It smelled funny. It tasted funny. And I just thought, let me ask. I was like, you didn't think to ask before you decided to drown your food in this brown substance?
That's great. That's so what I do as well. But Chanel, yeah. But I act without thinking. I do that all the time. I like living like that, just making stupid.
So she gave me permission to tell you, because she was like, oh, have you told Alan yet? And I was like, no, but I will today.
I want to hear the shit I haven't been given permission to hear. And now I realize there's a whole permission thing going on. What are the behind the scenes fucking mom was like, you fucking don't talk about that on your stupid video fucking thing. That's the ones that we want to hear. I'll cut it all out. I'll cut it out in editing. You can let me know. No worries.
So what's happening with your brother then?
Oh, he's fine, man. He's great. He's in Malta. He teaches from home basically anyway. Before this, he used to do teaching online. So like his life hasn't changed at all. He's doing the same thing he's always been doing. He's in really good form. And he wrote a short story for a short story competition. So I was helping him edit it. He was saying to me, and I was just like going through it, because he's very, it's a great story, it's a real cool story. But Mike's very intellectual and verbose. And sometimes I'm like, man, this is a great sentence, but I don't know what the following 3 words mean. So maybe consider like bringing them back down to civilian level. And it's oh yeah. So
yeah, dumb it down a bit, please. Thank you. I want to enjoy this. Yeah.
But it was cool though. It was cool. So that's it, man. But it's like everyone. It's like there's, he doesn't have any news. He's no news. No one has any news.
Well, we've got tomorrow. It's meant to be good old Boris telling people that he's got this plan, but I don't know, like. But then a lot of the papers are saying this plan. So I'm like, okay, so is this actually legit? But then the papers that I've seen are like the Mirror, the Sun, which just kind of like if you run out of toilet paper.
But I mean, I was on one of those websites. It was the Telegraph or the Mirror or the Sun, one of these. Because I was trying to find headlines to try and think if I could think of jokes about headlines. Which again, all the headlines are, in the normal time you'd have a funny headline, but now it's like more than 20,000 million people dead. You're just like, where's the funny angle? Not really. But like I was looking at these news sites. It's amazing. Like the Sun. It's like they're like, serious news. Here's the serious thing. Serious minister says serious. And then off on the right-hand side with the other articles, it's like, Bex from Big Brother 7's got a tits out on the beach. Peter Andre's illegitimate son comes back, but he's got 2 heads. I'm like, it's like they want you to take this stuff seriously, but then like next to it, there's just the most like ridiculous. Like some of it's just like celebrity in a bikini. Like that's the story. Like you can click on the story that says, "Is there a possible vaccine for the coronavirus?" And then like right next to it, you can click on a story of like tits. Have a look at these. It's just like I love it.
Totally misleading as well. So you will that title. Okay. Like you just want to think, okay, like this is interesting. Let me read it, and then you're like, you fucking told me nothing. You told me absolutely nothing. Like I've read this whole thing, and you told me
that's the most annoying.
Absolutely nothing. You just put words together, and I'm just like, who do I complain to? Like,
my favorite one is like when there's an article and it's like the title of it's like a question. It's like, could this be the answer we're looking for? And then the article says nobody knows. Like that structure is like because you assume the answer to the question is like maybe, so that's why you click on it. Can you get AIDS from eating apples? And you're like, oh shit, can you? And then you click on it and you're like, nobody knows, maybe. There's
it has the opposite. The other one that I hate is they have the where you have to, it's not the full page. So like you have your phone screen and then it's like, it only comes to like half a page, then you have to click next to get the rest of the story.
Yes,
then click next again to get the rest of the story. Next again. I'm just thinking, what the fuck?
Hate it.
What the fuck? And I'm like, what do they actually get out of this though? I don't get what they actually get out of it, because I'm not clicking on any of your ads that
Right.
So what is the point in this when you could have just had a full story and then I could have just scrolled to the bottom? Because there was nothing in between there that made me be like, oh my god, maybe I'll click here, No, I wanted the story and that's it. Yeah.
I think that's kind of like a double. It's like a double game, because like they sell views to ad companies. So if they get you, they get you looking at 7 pages, then you've looked at 7 ads. So that's 7 sales, right? Now, also, there's another argument that they can make that although presumably they've worked it out, like we turn off this amount of normal fucking human beings like you and me, where you're like, fuck, I don't want to keep clicking on this thing, and you go away from the website. But also the people who stay, they see 7 ads. Maybe they do click on one of those 7 ads. Presumably they've sort of worked it out some way that they wouldn't do it if it didn't make them money. That's the thing. Like I think
to myself, like,
they wouldn't do it if it wasn't making money.
Who are these people? Who are these people that click on these ads? Because these ads are like, to me, I'd see the ad and I think, you're going to give me a virus on my phone or on my tablet or my laptop. So do you know what? Like, I'm not clicking on it. Like, you're realistic, because when you go to these sites, you've never heard the name of these sites before. Never freaking heard them. Never heard of them before. And then You think I'm
Miracle
gonna just press
pills
some random ad?
.xy, and you're just like, what is any of that?
And it's
Spelt
like even with
wrong.
the on the site that I watch like my American shows and stuff, and they'll have like the ad, like the little boxes at the top, and it'll be like, "Mum used these 2 miracle ingredients to lose 20 stone."
Yeah.
Okay, so I needed to come here to see that because it's not all over the news or nothing. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like, it just makes no sense. And the one I saw today was
I love it.
the President Obama's daughter was like, the rumors are now just getting too much for, I think her name's Malia. And I was just like, and then there's a picture of her mum hugging her, and I was like, really? Someone's really gonna click on this? Like, what? Like, it makes no sense. Like, yeah, it's annoying. I hate adverts. I hate them. I can't stand them.
It's like,
that's why I don't watch TV anymore. I don't watch TV.
Yeah, but I mean, you nearly get more adverts on your phone than you get on TV. The only thing is you sort of...
Yeah, with YouTube, it's so annoying.
Yeah, but Chanel, right? See, I agree with you, by the way. All this stuff, I love that as well. Like the miracle, just like you said, the miracle cure. Like it wouldn't be all over the news. But then the thing that they do that is very clever. They're like, because they realize that you thought that, right? Because they realize you're a bit clever, but you're not that clever. Not you, I mean, somebody. Whoops, be careful there. But then they say, here's the secret that they don't want you to know. Because it's like, that's how they justify it, like a secret ingredient. You're like, oh my God. But I've clicked on stuff that I shouldn't have clicked on, man. I know you have too. You're full of shit. Of course you have. So that's it. That's why they keep appearing. Because you clicked Peter Andre's secret love child from 16 years ago. You clicked on the fucking miracle carrot roots that makes the fat from your feet move to your elbows. You did it just like me.
I guess if everyone clicks on like one advert, because you learn, don't you? Like you click on one advert and you're like, well, that was bullshit. So I guess they're going off the premise of everyone at least clicking on one advert and then being like, this is bullshit, and then never freaking doing it again.
Here's my question. Right? I said that too, but I reckon I click one of those ads about once every 6 months. Right? I reckon I think I still do. I think once every 6 months one gets me.
There's something special about you, Alan.
No, I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
I will click on stuff that like on YouTube that have adverts that are about improving yourself or whatever, and then I'm like, okay, but it's like average Joe selling me something that they're actually selling. I don't mind those adverts if it's average Joe selling something, but these big companies that are like selling crap, and you're just like, you don't need to be here. Go to the TV. You don't need to be on YouTube. Go away. Let average Joe have this space and let him sell his bloody coaching course, or let her sell her, like, I don't know, a new clothing line that she's got or whatever. I don't mind those. I don't mind average Joe adverts. I'm being 100% honest. I don't mind average Joe adverts. I don't like when these big corporations come in and take the space for average Joe. Like, you don't need to be everywhere. Like, I don't need to see freaking stupid McCain oven chips freaking advert. Like, fuck it, I'm fucking hate it. Oh, let's stay at home. You know.
Oh yeah, all the Corona ones. The Corona ads are great. It's like,
oh my God, I hate them. Staying at home. Okay. Well, if you was trying to avoid the Corona and just kind of like blank out your mind, here's a reminder. Stay at home. Let's talk about having chips. Blah 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 blah. But stay at home with your loved ones with chips. Like, it's so annoying. I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I really just like, it's so annoying. Like, it's mind-numbingly. Like,
you could do one for instant coffee. Stay at home with a nice warm jug of instant coffee across your dinner for your mother. Remind your mother how much she loves being trapped in this house with you by getting her to pour instant coffee all over her McCain oven chips. It's viral. That could work, you know.
I guess I can't. I can't understand it. But I did see an advert the other day, I was watching, actually the time when I actually went into my mum's room, she was watching TV. And the advert came up about Tampax. And it's like, if your Tampax hurts when it's in, it's not in far enough. Push it all the way or something like that. Or like push it up further or some shit like that.
Push it up
Mum
further.
was just like, Mum was like, ugh, I muted it. And I was like, what's the problem? And she was like, it's just so like, why is it so graphic? Like, why is it like that? And I was like, okay. I said, I see their angle because they're trying to like normalize.
Yeah. Discussions around
periods
that.
like that. And then I said, okay, right. If these adverts had been around from like, well, obviously not when you was younger because you probably only had like one channel, but like if adverts were like around from like, you know, when she was, I don't know, in her 20s or whatever.
Yeah.
And these adverts were consistent and they were basically normalizing the fact of that if you don't have if your tampon is uncomfortable, it means you don't have it incorrectly.
Yes.
You wouldn't even bat an eyelid.
100%, that'd be the norm.
I said, as females, like if your mum doesn't wear a tampon but only wears a freaking sanitary towel or only has a moon cup, who's giving you
the info.
Advice? And no one's not giving you the info. And when you're in school, they don't tell you about like, they just tell you that you get your period. Great. That's it.
Good luck.
They don't tell you like, okay, well, there's all these different options that you can use. Like I think I was in my 30s when I knew what a freaking moon cup was. I was like, what the fuck's a moon cup? I didn't know what that was. Crazy. And I'm like, I'm in my 30s and that's now I know what that freaking thing is. And I was like, they need to normalize periods. It happens every fucking month, man. To freaking every woman, like, what the fuck?
Trying to like hide it, like tiptoeing around it, like fucking every 30 days.
It's absolutely crazy because you can go to like the sexual health clinic and you can pick up condoms for free, but you can't go to the sexual health clinic and pick up sanitary towels for free. Not well, I don't know if they've changed it now, but like back when I was younger, that was an option. But then in school, you could buy them for 5p. Why am I having to pay the school? Like, I didn't know this was going to happen to me. This is just like out of the blue. And now I've got to pay the school 5p. And then I think it went up to like 15p. And then sometimes they'd be like, I'm like, I don't have any money. Yeah, it wasn't even tampons. It was like sanitary towels that were like thick, like fucking, they were thick like this. It was like this. It was like thick, like a freaking bloody nappy, mate. And they charged me for it. I was just like, no.
Especially when the price is that low, why put any price on it? You know what I mean? Like, it sort of makes even less sense when the price is that low. And they used to have the
basic, like, you know, you get like Tesco value, right? So Tesco value is the lower, like, you know, and then you have like Sainsbury's basic brand. They were the Tesco value.
They were the Tesco value. I got you. They're in it.
Value, like.
I love Tesco value. They're in that box. The box is already falling apart. It's open. The glue doesn't stick. It's all black, you know, that blue and red color. Tesco. They probably have Tesco value fucking sanitary pads. They probably have them, you know.
They were. That's what I'm telling you. They were.
Oh, they were. Okay. I'm sure there's another. You know, if that's what you want to use, it's fine. I don't know if I'd go for Tesco own brand condoms. I think I might push it to Sainsbury's for those. I don't know.
Do they actually do that? I don't know. Do they do that?
I don't know. I bet they do. Why not? Why shouldn't they? Why shouldn't they? Why should there be all the stigma, to your point, around why not every little helps? Or was that Asda? One of them anyway.
But then...
Except you wouldn't pat your ass, you'd pat your every little helps. Do, ching, ching.
But then would you want a condom that says every little helps?
Oh, very good. That's true. Actually, yeah. Wait, was that Asda or was that fucking... Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Tesco, isn't it?
It's one of them anyway.
Smacks the bum, I can't think of. I think Asda smacks the bum, but Tesco's tagline is every little helps.
Oh, so I've amalgamated.
Asda, yeah.
That sounds...
So I'm just thinking to myself, like, is there the only brand of, like...
Asda smacks the bum.
Condoms, lube, is Durex that advertise. I haven't seen any other brand advertise on TV.
That's true. Yeah.
I haven't seen any
And
other
even
brands.
posters and stuff you don't see for other brands except for Durex, really. I'm trying to think.
I haven't seen like, and I was thinking, I know in America there's these, is it Trojan? I think.
Yeah, that's a big American brand.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is the worst brand name ever. Like Trojan horse, like the story of the Trojan horse. Let this thing into your city walls so it can pollute you with murder and death. It's lit. They couldn't. How many fucking Greek and Roman myths are there? And they were like, let's go with that one. That sounds good. The Trojan horse.
God.
You think it's safe, but it's not. And when you let it inside, it kills you. That's what the story is.
Oh my God. You saying this, right? I saw this thing last night, actually. You go down the rabbit hole watching someone's feed. There's a comedy page that I follow. I was watching it, and it was basically saying that this woman, she met this guy. I don't know if it was online or may have been online, I think. Ended up like going out, whatever. Then they ended up sleeping together, and she let him ejaculate on her face, her choice, whatever.
Okay.
And then she ended up getting this rash on her face. So she was like, oh, she's going to go to the doctors. And then they was like, we don't know what it is, whatever. We're sending you to like a dermatologist and whatnot. And then she must have said to him, oh yeah, like I've got this rash, blah, blah, blah. And then I think he was like, I don't have any STDs or whatever, or STIs, whatever. So when she went to this dermatologist, they looked and they said, oh, she actually has like a parasite on her face. I know, it's fucking gross. There's parasite on her face that was causing this rash. But this parasite can only be found. So it was found in his semen, because obviously she's told them like that it happened after this. So she's like, the parasite, there's only 2 ways that this parasite can enter someone's like body or whatever.
Right.
And it's if they've either slept with an animal or if they slept with a corpse. So these parasites in his semen, and then when she went and looked on his Facebook, searched on his Facebook, he works in a morgue.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. That's really good. And you got to imagine, here, my favorite part of that story, right, is, and there's so many parts to love, there really is, but it's just brilliant, is when they tell her animals or dead bodies, in her head, she had to do the thing where she was like, which one do I hope it is? You know what I mean? Please, God, let him just have fucked a monkey. Please, God. Please let him just have banged a grandmother corpse. Please, she had to pull one way or the other. You know? I mean, she had to be rooting for one.
I just like, but where do you go with the, like, I'm hoping that it's just when he gets lonely, he sleeps with his dog. Like, I don't.
Oh, it's so rank.
The fact that he's been.
That's great.
Banging dead people, that's just, I just think they're both just like, I just want to die inside. A little piece of me just wants to die inside.
Well, that's sort of dying inside of things is sort of the problem, isn't it? This is now.
Oh my God.
Oh God, the rash on the face as well. Yeah. Doesn't mean I don't have any STDs. It's like, this is where you came on my face and now it's red. So I question that would be my response. That's great. Now, here's the thing though. I mean, because the most important thing with any story is to try and blame the victim as much as possible, right? So
that's the important thing. Okay,
I'm only joking. I don't mean that really, but that is what I'm about to do. So that's why I'm prefacing it.
Okay, disclaimer.
Disclaimer. Yeah, but it's not really a great disclaimer. Disclaimer. I'm about to, it's like the typical thing. It's like, I'm not racist, but do. Like you're just like, that doesn't change the words that are about to come out of your face.
I don't mean to be rude, but
yeah,
okay.
But some rude shit. Okay. So I'm about to do that with blaming the victim. But I'm like, presumably she said she's gonna say he seemed like a perfectly normal, nice, lovely man. That's why I slept with him. But here's my question for you, Chanel. If you meet somebody who's fucked corpses, are you going to be able to tell, you know? Are they going to be a little bit off kilter? Or do you think they're like serial killer and they're going to be able to act like a normal person? Because what I'm thinking now, you know who I'm imagining. You can think of who I'm imagining. If this story was about and slept with some guy who'd fucked a corpse or a monkey, I'd be like, of course she fucking did. She goes out of her way to pick up these demented, sick, twisted lunatics. It's basically her own fault. So I'm just saying, if you fuck a guy who's a corpse fucker, I feel like our corpse fuckers the world's greatest actors. I doubt it.
I just feel that they would be
terrible.
I just feel that her judgment was off from the jump, because if you don't know him that well and you let him get, he could have given you pink eye, whatever. I'm
going to be grateful to get pink eye after that story. Jesus Christ, man.
Oh yeah. So it's like you don't know him that well and you allowed that to happen.
Yeah.
Her judgment's off, so her picking that guy.
Yeah, maybe, fair enough.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not blaming the victim. He's the one to blame, I guess. Yeah, no, well, I guess he didn't know he was sick with corpse fucking disease. Maybe.
But it's not the fact of whether he knew that he was sick, the fact that he was doing it. What do you mean? Like, so what? If he knew that he could get this parasite,
did he know?
In his semen, then he would be like, oh, I won't do that then. What do you mean? Like, he's sick. He's sick. He needs help. Like, who does that? Like...
See, this is the funny thing about this, though, is this is literally the Dave Chappelle joke, which is a great joke. I'm going to ruin Dave Chappelle's special from about 12 years ago now, so spoiler alert, right? But he was like, there's a theory. The theory is that AIDS came when somebody fucked a monkey, and then they fucked a human afterwards, and they got AIDS from the monkey. And the joke, the punchline, the Dave Chappelle punchline is like, no, that can't be correct, because once you start fucking monkeys, you never go back. And it's a one-way road. Like, you're committed to fucking, like, you don't be like, no, I tried it, no, not for me. Like, that's a joke. But that's the same with, like, corpses. You don't think about somebody who fucks dead bodies as them being like, and now back to humans. You imagine, or living humans, you imagine they just stay down that road, I'm surprised to hear that those people are also having sex with real human beings. That's upsetting.
Yeah, but then I think...
That poor woman, man. Oh, I
think it's kind of like...
Poor woman.
It's like serial killers, isn't it? Like,
no, yeah.
They won't kill their family members, per se. But,
yes, I see.
They will go out and, like, kill her or any other people, but they will still come back and just be all, like, chill. Like, oh, okay, yeah, like... We got the soccer game tonight, son. Okay, yeah.
That is amazing, though. Yes,
I don't wash my hands. My hands,
That must be, but also I bet that's part of the rush too, isn't it? I mean, I think that must be part of the high. Like, you do some nefarious shit, and then you're just like, now I'm with my family and nobody knows. There must be like some excitement. Because if you're just like full crazy all the time, you probably get tired of it.
Well, I don't know. I just think. I find a lot of these people that seem to be, well, then again, this is going by movies, though. Oh, seriously, I just watched...
that's, firstly, can I say, Chanel, that's a good thing. That you're like, based on my own serial killer, necrophiliac, animal fucker experience, it's good that you're only basing this on movies. Like, you said it like it was a real shameful thing. No,
I don't want to be, like, acting like this is gospel and I really know.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
But, like, in The Reckoning, like, spoiler alert, hopefully you guys watched it, but, like, the guy, dad, killed his mum, and he had a thing about, he basically just thought she was, like, he called her, like, a whore and that kind of thing, and I don't know if she was, like, promiscuous or whatever, but he strangled her, and then he cut her tattoo off, the surgeon, with scalpel, and then in front of the boy, and the boy was trying to save her, and obviously it was too late because his dad obviously like strangled her, and then he ended up burying her in the garden.
Right.
And then it was like forgotten about. But then there was the thing called the RRK killer, which it's this guy. So basically what he was trying to do was these women that he was killing, every time he strangled them, he was kind of trying to revive them, like, because he didn't get to save his mum. He was trying to save these women.
Right,
but at the same time, he would go too far and kill them, and then he would remove the tattoo. So he was mentally scarred from that weirdo.
Yeah.
But then, like, he had a wife before and had a son. They ended up separating. Then he got with another woman who he actually was going to kill.
Okay.
And then she woke up, saw him, and I think because she kind of reminded him of his mother. And then she woke up and saw him, and then he was like, "Oh no, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine." And acted kind of like he saved her, like he'd come across her.
Right.
And they ended up getting together, getting married, but he was still having that family life, but still going out and killing.
Yeah, for sure.
But it was just like, but you're going and you're killing women, you're strangling them, cutting off their tattoos, and just going on like your normal life. Like it's mad.
It's crazy, man.
You could do that, and then, but then there's just like the dead people fucker. He's just like doing that and then still dating. It's still, I just think.
Yeah, for sure. You're right.
It's like, so it's like, is that a fetish for him? Or did he do it before he found someone?
Yeah.
Maybe he just thought like he was lonely and he didn't have anybody, and he was like, "Ooh, what's what this is like?"
Yeah. That was my question too. That was what my question was going to be. Like how. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that serial killer thing, that's really real. That's not just in TV shows. Like that is documented. Like fucking Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy. Well, Bundy had a bunch of different girlfriends, but like he had normal relationships with quite a few of them. And it's like, and John Wayne Gacy was happily married. Like everyone in the town loved him. He was like a character who you know, that picture of him dressed up as a clown, which is now really sinister in retrospect. But like he was just like, he was like a politician, and everyone just thought he was salt of the earth. And then there was just literally all these corpses under his fucking house, you know? It's crazy. But but I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, if they can make that separation in terms of murdering and just having normal life, why not make the separation of like, yeah, I fuck some corpses and then I go out for a couple of dates with Susan. You know, why not, you know, make the separation for Susan getting it again. Yeah, man, that's true. But I got to see, the thing you said that was interesting when you were saying like, was he just lonely? Like, this is how lonely do you have to be where you're just around corpses, where you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to have a crack at this. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know how lonely.
It's like, you know, one of those things is like, you just don't want to understand, because understanding, I don't think it would make me feel any better. I don't feel like that would ease my disgust if I
It'd probably make it worse. Yeah, it'd probably make it worse.
Just like, so you had a conscious choice to do that, because it's not like you was forced. I don't think anyone can be forced to sleep with dead people, because that's just, it's not like they're like, it's a thing, you know, that people keep dead people in their house.
That is a very specific set of circumstances where you are forced to have sex with it. You better fuck my dead wife or I'm going to kill her. I think it's very niche. I don't think that happens a lot. Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, I just think it's just crazy. But I don't understand why there is so many serial killers in America than anywhere else. Like, I know obviously that it's really big, but I'm just like, why is that?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. Like, one, like you said, it's big population. The other thing as well is like, so these are all kind of reasons why it's not as big as it seems, but I think it is also big as well. Like, the other thing is like, Americans do actually have freedom of press, so like that shit gets documented. Like, there's probably serial killers in well, there are like from all over the world, but they're in places where like the police authorities are just like, oh, fuck 'em, we're not putting that in the newspaper. You know, fucking sweep that under the rug. So like that's part of it too, I think. But yeah, I think as well, it's probably, you know what? Actually, you know what a lot of it is? One theory is that America is a very highway-based society. Like there's lots of roads and driving, and like lots of the time, there's something about that makes it like picking people up on the side of the road is what lots of serial killers do. And it's kind of, there's a lot of transport from A to B where people can kind of go missing, whereas other societies don't have as much of that. That's one of the theories anyway. It's this whole highway.
But what makes you get like, do you just wake up one day and be like, I want to kill someone, let's go and pick them up on the side of the road? Like, or like you happen to pick up a hitchhiker because you want to help, and then you're like, I could kill this person, but you've never killed someone before. Like, it's just so weird. It's really weird. Like the whole like is it the Fred West and Rosemary West or whatever they are? Those people, like, obviously you're doing it to kids because you're sick, like you're paedophiles and that kind of thing. So there's a base to your sickness. You know what I mean? Like,
it's not great, but that's the reasoning. Yeah.
Right, like there's a base to your sickness, the fact that you like kids, so that's your thing. But then if you're just like picking someone up off the side of the road because they're going like, okay, cool, I want to go in the same direction, and then you just be like, oh crap.
Let's just have let's try this out. Let's see what it feels like. Yeah. Well,
especially
like,
if there's not like a rape involved. Like, you know, sometimes like it goes too far and you're realizing actually, fuck it, like, oh my God, I've actually strangled the person. Or
one crime leading to a death by, you didn't initially intend to kill them, you were going to do something else, rape, robbery, blah, blah, blah. And it just escalates. Yeah, that's different.
And then you realize that you liked it. So then you're like, okay, cool. So now I'm going to rape and I'm going to kill, or maybe I'm going to just continue to kill now because I've got a taste for it. But if there's no
choice is yours.
Like there's no like lead up to it. Yeah. What makes that person snap and be like
they say, because I listen to some stuff of all that serial killers, because obviously just again because I'm basic, because that's what normal people say. So because I'm a basic white lady is what I am, and but like lots of serial killers, they do exactly just what you said. Like they test, start out with. Like they notice that they like some like control over people, or like killing animals, or like maybe like abducting someone, but then they don't go through with it. Like generally they don't snap the way that you suggested. Generally they build up to it. Like they give themselves little allowances, and then one day they just flip over. But also like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's like lunatics. That's people who are, you know, have whatever real psychopathic damage or whatever you want to call it. But I also think as well, like, you know, some like back in the day, like human beings, like that's how we survived. We just killed all the time. You know, we were in wars all the time. We murdered each other all the time. I think that's in our brains, man. I think that's like built in there. And some part of us, and when you said like it can just snap or turn on, I think that's really in there. Sometimes your animal brain's just like, just kill this guy. Just see what happens. Let's just have fun for once. Come on.
I just think it's weird how people's brains are wired. Because if I was to see that, and I think for me, I think to kill just to see how it feels, or without any.
So dark.
Like if someone's hurt your family, you know. Then you like, oh my God, I want to kill, revenge killing, that kind of thing, whatever. I get that. Not saying it's right or whatever, but I understand that train of thought.
Sure.
But just to kill someone who has no relation to you whatsoever, never seen him in a freaking day of your life, and then you pick him up on the side of the highway and you're like, gonna end your life today.
Pretty
evil. You know, it's just like, it's sick.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Unprovoked, with no reason. Yeah, that's true. And if you have like that killer instinct, even if you think about it in terms of evolution, it's normally for a reason. If you look back in the past, and we're all murdering each other for territory or mates or whatever it is. So like, So that actually, even my theory, as usual, my theories are always turn out to be bullshit. It's like, even if that is an evolutionary reason, doing it for no reason other than that you just want to like get off on it, that doesn't really make sense from an evolutionary point of view, because that would be bad, presumably, for everyone. But I think as well, like you said before, you were like, I think with lots of these dudes, and it is mostly dudes, it's like there's like a sexual element gets like mixed up with it, you know what I mean? So like even if they're not raping somebody, like there's like a sexual thrill gets tied up literally sometimes with people, you know, having that power and control over other people to the point where they can kill them. That's what the reverse is, you know, like that masochism shit, like businessmen who like, you know, chicks in high heels to stomp on their balls and shit. It's because they have, you know, the internet, you've been there. It's like they're under so much pressure to control other people in their jobs. That's why it's always lawyers, CEOs, these big fucking fish. Like they want to release all of their control by giving it totally over to someone else. Stomping on your balls. That's pretty much that's as out of control as you get, I suppose, really, isn't it? So it's like, but it's funny, isn't it? Though, but people's brains, you know, people like. It's like wires get crossed, man, and then those two things just get melded together, and before you know it, you're fucking corpses, Chanel, and you're killing people. You're out there killing people every day and fucking their corpses.
But then the fact is that is only a male thing.
That's just another reason why men are so great and better than women. It's just like, you don't even have any good serial. Eileen Werthos, you've got one good serial killer? Dude, you gotta come over to our team. We've got fucking tons of them. Fucking piles of serial. There's a couple. You got that nurse who killed a bunch of people, put them to sleep. Okay, all right. But, you know, once again, men owning it, dominating the field.
So sad.
Leaving women
proud of that, owning
in the dust.
So sad.
In the
So
dust.
sad.
Well, you know, I'm very serious about that. It's funny. Actually, there's a really there's a good podcast called Atlanta Monster. That's all about his child serial killer in Atlanta. And one of the theories is that he was this black dude, but because the vast majority of serial killers are white, like that's one of the reasons why they never suspected him, because sort of for whatever reason, demographically, it was so unusual. But that also makes you think, like, why is that as well? You know what I mean? And is that just because they're the ones who get caught? Or is that, I don't know, but I don't think so. Like, why is there a racial component to it?
I was thinking that. And it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things that's like, is it maybe because as white males you're used to just killing? Like it's historic, isn't it? It's known that you're used to that's basically what you do, is you kill, whether it's war, whether it's slavery, whether it's
we're just always out for murder. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, we're even dominant. Even in suicide, white men dominating once again.
Yeah, it's like
interesting.
It's just like, is that basically like
it's a fucking white devil, man?
That's your thing, isn't it? Like that's your zhuzh. But and I think
that's your zhuzh. Murder.
Yeah, that's your zhuzh. And I think maybe because black men, if they were to choose to kill their own, they probably don't want to do that. And then if they were to go around and then be like, right, fine, they're going to kill loads of like white women or just non-black people in general, it's going to raise some red flags. People are going to,
yeah, I think this is the real reason.
Are going to be like more interested, more interested in it than if it was a whole load of black women going missing, like and being like killed and stuff. So I think there probably could be more black male serial killers. But when a black woman goes missing, no one's really raising an eyebrow.
It could definitely be family. That, yeah. It could definitely be that. Yeah. There
could be loads more. We just.
I think that's 100%. I think that's 100% what it is. I think that basically, like, I think it's a combination of different factors, but it's totally what you're talking about. I think like white guys, especially if you look at most like serial killers who get caught very early on, or killers who get caught, are kind of the ones who are like too crazy to keep it together. Because like whatever prejudices are involved, if you're in a playground going, even if you're white, I mean, like, the cops aren't that racist. They will come and take you away. You can't just be like jacking off in a preschool with like a samurai sword. There's a limit. There's a limit. But like, generally, like lots of those guys like Ted Bundy, like Gacy, whatever, if you look respectable, is in terms of you're wearing a suit or some shit and you're white, like people, and if you're white, 'cause that's definitely a racial component to it. You literally get away with murder if you're that type of person. Whereas like black, especially black men, met with more suspicion. What are you doing here? Why are you here? More likely, more eyes on them in general. And then, like you said, in terms of like, this is the concept that they talk about. One of the reasons why serial killers, you see throughout all of history, is like this concept of the lesser dead. So like most serial killers start killing sex workers because prostitutes, whatever you want to call them, because generally speaking, like no one give a fuck about those people. So like you get away with it for way longer. And it's the same thing again, I think, with black women's or black female victims. It's like it ranks less on the like authorities giving a fuck about it scale. So I think you're right. It's like it's a triangulation of all those different things. Which I was gonna say, but I was actually trying to write a joke about that. It was about the Tiger King. Did you see Tiger King? Have you watched this show? Right.
I watched the trailer and I was just like, do I really want to do this? And then my cousin was like, oh, watch it. And I was like, why? And she was like, oh, because I've watched it, so I want someone to talk about it with. And I was like, that's not a great selling point to me. Oh, you're not selling it to me. And then I watched the trailer and I was like, I think I watched the trailer twice. And I was still just like, this is not doing it for me. I'm just not going. And then now everyone's talking about Carol Baskin or whatever.
Yeah. There's all these memes and references to it. That's the problem. That's what happens though. You get meme bullied into watching shit. You're like, I don't want to watch this show, but if I don't, I don't know what any of you
I don't know what's going on.
Are referencing. Like, what is happening? I did, I was trying to write. Anyway, basically, in the documentary Tiger King, no spoilers alerts or whatever, I was like, there's no black people. Like the only people involved in crazy backyard tiger rearing are white people for some reason. And I was like, the joke, I'm trying to work out how to phrase it so it's not too bad. I was like, I'm trying to start off by saying something like some prejudices, some discrimination, let's keep that. I don't think black people need to get into like what, like it's not good for you. It's like the wingsuit people, the people you see in the wingsuits flying into mountains and going back. That's all white people. Let's keep those barriers of prejudice up. I like black people. I don't want to see them smash into the side of a mountain or get eaten by a tiger. Does that make me a racist? I'm trying to find. You know what I mean?
Like, remember when I was saying to you about the joke when I was trying to figure out like I was saying that I've never had to worry about, like, I've never really heard of fat women being attacked. Like,
right, yes,
like,
I remember you saying.
And I was like, how do I say that without offending people? But it's true. Like, I haven't come across and been like, okay, yeah, like a lady who's probably like a size freaking 30 being raped and attacked by a random man on the street. Like, they're not doing it. It sounds really bad when you say it out, but it's like they're not doing it. So the bigger you are, you're kind of safer. You're kind of safer. You may feel like you're going to be getting like attacked and you think someone's following you, but it's just your thighs rubbing together. That is it. But it's just like I've never had to worry. Like, I don't know whether it's the fact of like, do rapists have a type? Do they have standards? Like, like oh no, like her, no, she's not a size 12, so no, fuck it. Like I'm not going there. How dare she be a size 14? Never. Like, how does it, like, just average Joe rapist, like average Joe rapist, like, like, do they have? This is the thing. You really have to figure out, because it's like if you go by, it's like a larger lady or someone who's not the norm of what you'd say like is physically like attractive or pretty or whatever.
The norms and standards around beauty is established by the industry. Blah blah blah.
Like, do these guys have that kind of like standard. And if these women do get attacked or whatever, it's normally by someone that they know.
Yes, this is
if
true.
they don't fit into that norm of what we believe women who get attacked to look like. So it's like, do these rapists have standards? People they're like these random rapists that they've never met you, nothing, and then that's just their aim to just attack any random woman. Do they have standards? I
think they probably do. And I think that joke is going to be very funny when you work out how to word it. And until you do, you're going to be booed off stage. But it's great. It's so good. There's so many potential. You know what you should do? Here's the line that popped into my head when you were saying it. You should call it the skinny bitch tax or something like that. The potential, which is like terrible. Again, it's terrible. You can't. It's like the potential to be. You can't when you just. It's like, and it's like. Fucking
obviously I know it's
terrible,
like it's
can't say it
yeah, it's like it's a horrid like topic. I know people who have obviously been raped and that kind of thing, but it's normally been people that they actually know, and so I know that it's like it's sensitive, it's awkward, it's horrible, but in any situation that's like that, I think you need to find the funny in anything as to help you kind of like cope. 100%. And if you kind of drown any kind of like topic in this, it's so terrible, it's so horrid, we can't talk about it, it kind of gives it more of that kind of like. I 100%
agree.
So it's like,
if you can't talk about it, it has the power, you don't have the power. You know what I mean? That's what I think. Or if you can't joke about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And it's just kind of like with that kind of thing, it's like, how do we as comics get on like these sensitive topics? Like, I think that is a true art of comedy. If you can actually touch on a sensitive topic or even a taboo topic and make that shit funny, like you're held
funny,
here.
man.
Like,
for sure.
Like, so that I think that's a true art of comedy.
Yeah,
because not a lot of people can do that.
I agree. I think not only is it like the highest sort of, maybe you can say, like level that you can get to a comedy, I also think I think you could argue it's actually the highest value of comedy too, to like society, because like some of that stuff, like we're talking about this you know, these especially like rape, something like this. It's one of the most horrific and traumatic things anybody can experience. If you can, you might not be able to, depending on one joke or another, but if you can actually find a way of making it funny that is what's the word, like coming from a good place and is actually on the side of the victim, you know what I mean? Like, as if you, then that is amazing. That's an amazing service you can do to somebody else. I mean, that's about as good. As much as I love telling jokes about wanking, I'm not sure they're going to transform the New World Order anytime soon. You know what I mean? I think there's a limited amount of utility there. Infinite utility, if you ask me there. But like, but I really think that is the ultimate value of it. But that's why it's so tricky as well. That's why the reward is so great, because it is so tricky. So it's like, as much as, although I know when I was talking about this poor woman with her necrophilia fucking freak boyfriend or whatever it was, I was like victim blaming her, but like, obviously even that's a joke, you know what I mean? It's a joke about jokes, because it's like I love it though. I love hearing a joke
until I get it, like until I get that joke perfected, I would not be like, let me go and just test that shit out.
Let's try it out.
Like, no way would I intentionally be like, let me get food. Fuck off. No way. No.
No, there's some stuff like that where you just like this. I mean, whatever your style of comedy is, like some people are more like, I'll just work it out on stage. Some people are like, I want to craft it forever. With some of that, there's some stuff where it's like, no, you gotta at least prepare. You gotta at least think about this. You can't rock up with, what did you call him? Joe Blow fucking rapist, Joe. Ordinary Joe.
Average Joe.
Average Joe rapist. I mean, like, is that...
So I think the only jokes that, like...
So funny.
I could go on the stage unprepared and just think, let me just work it out on stage and see where it lands. If I can say something racist against white people, because you guys are going to feel the need to have to laugh because you don't know where it's going.
For sure.
or a fat joke, like.
Yeah, exactly. You got permission there. You got leverage there.
Yeah, but I think they're the only jokes that I could actually say, like, yeah, I'm actually going to go out on stage and kind of like be like, let's see where this kind of lands.
Yeah.
Because you're guaranteed going to get, even if you don't get like the whole house like laughing, whatever, you're going to get at least a couple chuckles.
Yeah.
Because people are like, oh, is that an awkward chuckle or is that a relatable chuckle? Like, you know, it's not a funny chuckle. It's like,
it's kind of
how can I relate to this? Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Very good. The quiet.
Yeah, that kind of like, oh, I'm fat too. But it wasn't funny. Okay. Yeah.
But it's fine. I was kind of talking to Mike about that because we're talking about like voice and his like short stories, and then I was talking about like doing comedy and stuff like that. It's about, I think a lot of it's about trust, right? The audience needs to trust you before they can find you funny. And one reason, I mean, like, it's again, people, there's a stereotypical, or not stereotypical, yeah, it is a stereotypical thing where people are like, oh, well, if you are the thing, you can talk about the thing. If you are black, you can talk about blackness in a way that somebody else can. And they're like, why is that? That's not fair. You know, all the boring, stupid arguments around that where you're just like, all right, relax.
Yeah.
It's like, white guys are the ones who really have it hard. That's, you know, I was like, come on, man, go be a serial killer. All the slots are open.
Exactly.
No black people are trying to vie for these jobs. Take those jobs.
Exactly.
There's no women or black people over here trying to take the serial killer jobs. We have a monopoly over there. So. Serial killer monopoly. That sounds like a good game. But one of the reasons is though as well is because it's actually about trust, right? Because even though it's a judgment call, you could be a black woman who hates black people, but it's quite unlikely. So if you start talking about race, there's a presumption that we can trust you in the way you're talking about it because of your race, which is not there if it's somebody or someone else. So it's not actually about like, oh, it's unfair or something. It's just like normal human psychology. Whereas if you wanted to talk about, I don't know, some other shit about how much you hate Vietnamese women or something, we might have to hang out with you for a bit longer to trust you in a more general sense before you get the permission to talk about that. But then once they really trust you in that general sense, then you earn leeway into all sorts of different directions, which is
and nice. I think if you go outside of your race, like you're saying, you would need
or your
to
class or whatever else it is.
Yeah, I think you would need to like embrace the stereotype to get people on board. Because if you're going to go with something completely like off track, people are like, what the fuck? So you'd need to stick with some sort of stereotype to kind of bring people around. It's kind of fucked up. But like you have to be like stick with stereotype. Like when you're saying obviously like a Vietnamese, I was thinking like Asian, the stereotype for me would either be takeaway or getting your nails done. Those stereotypes, if you go into feed into that stereotype and then you could branch off to something that maybe could be real personal to you, and then people to be like, oh, okay, all right, cool, I know where she's going with this then. But if you just literally just went into something that was completely personal to you, like say if me and Mako had a freaking argument or something.
Right. Yeah.
And then I started like going off on her because
fucking Burmese, she's
Asian or whatever, blah blah blah. And they'd just be like, what the fuck? What's this got to do with
oh wow, that's really interesting. Like you actually, you almost have to like a Burmese, like fucking Mako could just start talking shit about some random weird shit about Burma, and like because we know she's from Burma, she says she's from Burma, we're already open to that. But you actually, that's very interesting. You have to start from a more stereotypical place just to ease people into the idea. Which makes it even more difficult because you actually have to start with something that is a stereotype. Wow. Look at this, Chanel with the insight as usual. Insight.
Oh, you tell you I'm not just a pretty face here, you know, like it's a lot going up in here.
Hey, and I'm not just a serial killer, so there you go. There's a lot of different sides to me, Chanel. Lots of different sides. It's funny, part of me would be a really good serial killer because I'm really good at being two-faced, you know. I think I'm really great at that. You know, you've seen me talk to other people where I'm like, it's so nice to see you, and you're just like
such an asshole.
So are you, like, though. You pretend you're not. You are as well. You fucking are as well.
I don't think that I do that.
This Now, you do that voice every time you know you're lying. You go, no, and you put your head back. It's like, you know, it's
just
shit.
be like, oh, I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true, but maybe in a roundabout sort of way, I don't like humans. Yeah, no, but when you do it, it's just fucking hilarious. I'm just like, look at him acting like a buzz up, man. Look at him, and then you'll come away and you just be like, fucking prick. But yeah, and I'm just like, I could see it just raining down on you, thinking you're dying inside, and you talk to that person and being all like, yes, but then it's when you actually are like being all like, here, and I'm thinking, oh, you don't want to talk to them, and then you come away and you're like, oh, that person's really cool. I'm thinking, you fucking prick. No, they're not.
So actually, you're hoping.
Like you don't.
You're hoping I'm more two-faced than I really am. You're disappointed when I'm not two-faced. When I'm talking to somebody who's a prick, and I'm like, he's great. I like him. Yeah, that's
I'm just
great.
like, oh, why does he like that person? I don't. They're weird. Like I don't like them. Yeah, but it's just like when you like some people's comedy, and I'm just like, why?
I love it, man. I love you. You know what you remind me of my mother. You just have that look if we're at gigs and there's somebody doing some outlandish shit that you just find when you just have this face on you where you're like that dead inside face, and I'm laughing and I'm loving it. I double love it now because you hate it so much. But I to start with, you used to be more upset about it. Like you used to actually like afterwards you'd be like, that was shit, Alan. Why do you like that? We used to have more of a dynamic about it. Whereas now you just like my mother. It's just that resignation. You're just like, well, you like that stuff, and I can't change you. I can't change you, even though it makes me die a little inside. I can't change you. You've just given up, which is great. It's really nice to see.
I'm so over it. But like before I got into comedy, I used to look at comics, and when I go to shows, and I'd be like, "You fucking said this thing last time."
Right. That's the classic non-comic criticism of the comic.
Yeah, and I used to really think to myself, like, I've seen this act before. Why are you doing it again? Why have you changed it? Like, what the hell?
Yes.
And then getting into comedy and going, oh, right, now I get it, because you've got a freaking, bang out a 5 minutes, maybe even a 10 minutes. You can't be chopping and changing for every dicking gig that you go to, because...
It's literally impossible.
Exactly. Like, it's not possible at all. 100%. I get it now. I 100% get it.
Yeah, for sure.
Just change up the rhythm and the order. And
I think it is good though. Certainly now that when I had slightly more material, I do think actually changing the order and stuff is really good for you too as a performer. I think it's not just for you, Chanel. I mean for anybody. I think it really kind of, because it lets you know actually, oh, this works in lots of different ways. Do you know what I mean? I think it's good for your confidence to move stuff around, because and that's why, you know, lots of comedians when they're professional comedians, they do that. It depends. I think they do that a bit more unless they're coming up to a really, really big show. Then they kind of tend some of the times they knock it down. But that's frequently after lots of experimentation. And the experimentation lets you know that, hey, you can be funny in different orders, in different ways, and that's cool, you know. And it means that Chanel won't bitch and moan.
No one wants that. But like, the whole, I mean, it's like kind of like reading the audience as well, because I could be in the audience and I could be like, okay, cool, so there's all males here, like, am I really gonna do my jumpsuit joke? Like,
right.
It's not gonna land as well, because they're kind of probably thinking like, what the fuck?
Sure.
Like, they're gonna find it funny to a certain extent, but they can't really relate to it. And everyone likes a bit of relatable comedy, so I would be like, okay, cool, if I have another joke to take that out and put something else in. 100%, 100%. Then I would opt to do that. But I understand if you don't have that, I totally get it. Yeah. Again,
if the more material you write, the better. I mean, like now we're getting at the stage where we actually have a little bit of material we can chop around, which is great. But yeah, and I think being able to read the room is another skill that I sort of need to just get better at or work on more, because obviously demographically you can read a room, but then it's also like in terms of tone, like you listen to the other jokes that like went well for some other comedians, you're like, oh, this crowd's a bit more sensitive about some issues rather than others, or like they're more on board with zany stuff or dry stuff, you know. I mean, I think you can do that too once you get enough material.
Yeah, but I didn't mean like read the audience in that sense. I mean, like, say, like if you're like, you said 2 jokes and you're like, okay, cool, these guys are lapping this up. If I was to now slot that in, that doesn't make sense because I've already taken them on this sort of kind of like journey of, okay, well, they're all male in the audience. And then now I'm like, okay, cool, I'm going to start this way. Although I'm not really going to go down the whole jumpsuit. I may touch on a bit of like the period joke because you're going to get a bit of
it's still, you're still going to get enough of that. Yeah.
But then I wouldn't like literally be like, right, yeah, let me do the jumpsuit joke because you can't really relate. And if I made the joke about a woman getting attacked or whatever, like,
as we know you love to do.
And then, but then maybe I would, if it was a full male crowd, I probably more likely would push that joke more.
Yeah.
Because you motherfuckers got standards. Like, tell me, I need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if it was like a full female audience, because I may come across, I don't know, like half the room that really has been. Do you get what I mean? And they feel different shapes and sizes
100%.
or whatever.
100%.
So yeah, I would push that joke more if it was like a male audience and they kind of lapped up my period advert joke and then was like, I think, okay, yeah, cool.
Unfortunate phrasing there for some of that, but yes, I agree. But it's funny.
But
man,
see, why are you like? If I say period, why are you like?
No. You said they lapped up my period joke. Is what you said. So I wasn't. Don't take your mother issues out on me. Why are you so squeamish about these adverts, Alan? We're staying at home, but don't forget to shove it up in there.